Hero.
Leisure, the girl.
Hero.
Leisure, the girl.
Hero.
Leisure, the girl. Leisure, the girl. Leisure, the girl.
Yeah.
Leisure the grand.
Shame to kill this one, bruh.
Guaje que se la devuelve. ¡Qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo de la selección española! ¡Qué golazo de la rojimática!
Hello guys and welcome to the official Virtual Pro Gaming World Esports Cup. So guys, welcome to the stream. Welcome to all 48 nations taking part on the PlayStation 5 World Esports Cup. So guys, before we get started, I'm going to show you guys the most recent winners since 2017. So before I do the draw, tell you about all the important information you as players need to know, take a look at the previous World Cup.
As they do a nice clear up the middle. Is he free? Shells is free. He's got space. He shoots. He scores. Goalkeeper left absolutely dumbfounded. Shells finds the ball at his foot with space to spare. And a booming shot into the right-hand corner. Goalkeeper left held hard in the box. A penalty kick. Billy catches the keeper going the wrong way, and it's 2-0 England. It is up. Billy gets the ball back, and Stevie steps through the score, goes across the shot, puts it in the corner. What is this game? 4-0 in a span of 2 minutes. ¡Vamos, Marcos! ¡Vamos, Marcos! ¡La bola más espectacular, Marcosar! ¡Saquen! ¡Uy, uy, 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 uy!
So guys, welcome back, and here is the previous winners of the VPG World Cup. So I think this goes back to FIFA 16. As you can see, we've only had 2 winners in the whole time of launching the World Cup. We have England winning in 2017, 18, 19 and 21. And in 2020, it was a final between Algeria and Spain, which Algeria reached it in the final minutes of the game. So yeah, they won in 2020. So here are the previous winners, guys. Before we get started, I'm going to show you how things work. You as players, what you need to know, and as managers as well. So let's get everything underway. So first, guys, I'm going to show you the pots. So how the pots will work and which nations will be going into which. So how it's going to work is there's 48 nations, so the top 12 nations ranked by previous competitions. So here are the 12 ranked nations going into pot number 1. So all these nations will not play against each other. So when we do the draw, I'll show you guys how it's going to go. So these nations will go into a separate group, so they will not play each other. So the other, I think it's 38 nations, will be in pot number 2. So they'll be playing at least one of those nations in their group. Now let's take a look at the structure, guys. So the format starts off with a group stage, and then afterwards is the knockout stage. So all tournaments are played on the VPG platform. So for the domestic league, admin team will choose the representative to manage their nation based on experience. So if you're wondering how to apply for a manager, if you're manager of the Holland, which is Dimmy, which is in the chats, he will choose someone based on experience in the Dutch league. If that domestic league isn't on VPG, then we launch an application process, which has been ongoing for around a couple of months, and then we choose the most suitable managers from the VPG community. So the total cash prize for this competition is $2,000, and that will go to the top 3 teams. So if you're in the final, you're obviously guaranteed money. If you're first, you get $1,200, and if you're second, you get $300. Now we will do a third position. So if you come into the semi-finals, we'll have a 3rd versus 4th, and the winner will get $200. Now also, we'll make something a little bit more unique, the leaderboard prizes. So players and managers will have to do their stats for this competition. If you come top striker, winger, cam, CDM, centre-back or goalkeeper, $50 will be awarded to each player who is the highest ranked in these leaderboards. Now, so let's move across to how it works. So for the group stages, each team will play each other twice. This is the most fair way, especially obviously it's bringing a lot of nations from all around the world together. So obviously you can't just expect to play just on one nation's host. To make it fair, you'll play each nation on home and away. So there'll be 4 nations per group, obviously, with the World Cup style format. Home and away, just like I just mentioned. The nation that finishes top of the standing, so if they come top of the league table after the 6 games, they will automatically go through into the knockout stages. The nation that finishes in second, they will also automatically go through into the knockout stages. However, because there is 48 nations taking part in this one, if you come third, the best 8 ranked third positions will also go through into the knockout stages. So that will be down to points, and then if you have the same points with other third positions from other groups, it will go down to goal difference, and if the tie is at goal difference, it will go to goals scored after that. Now moving across into this section, knockout stages, making it fair. Obviously, each team will play each other twice in the knockout stages, home and away. The scores will be counted from both games. with the winner obviously going through into the knockout stages. If the scores are tied, for example, if England beat Wales 4-1 and then Wales beat England 5-2, England will go through on away goals. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't really like away goals, but obviously we had to had a conversation with the community team, and because, let's say, for example, China play England in a semi-final, if it has to go to a third game, it's not fair, because whoever hosts it is going to win. So we have to have the away goals for this competition, especially if it's 4-1 and 5-2. However, if the scores are tied, for example, if both games are a draw, 2-2 or 1-1 or 3-3, whatever the score, if both games are a draw, then it will go to extra time and penalties for the third game. So for the knockout stages pots, the 12 nations that finish first will be placed into pot number 1. They will be joined by the best 4 ranked teams who come in second place. So if you get the most points in second place, the top 4 ranked in that will be put in the pot number 1. And that is obviously decided by points, goal difference, and then goals scored after that one. So that's a total of 16 nations into pot number 1. Now for the knockout stages pot number 2, the other 8 nations that come in second place will be put in pot number 2, and for the following third positions as well. So that is how the pots are going to work in the knockout stages. Now let's move across into squad rosters, guys. For the squad rosters, it's a maximum number of players per nation is 25. So you are allowed to remove 5 players after the group stages, and you can swap it for another 5 players from that country only for the knockout stages only. Each nation has to submit a squad list roster on social media. This is just making sure that when they sign their players that we can see all their PSNs on their squad list that they have chosen as well. You can only play players that are born from that country, have residency in that country, and have ID/passport from that country as well. So your national team flag must be updated on the VBG platform also. If a player plays for a national team and isn't from that country and hasn't had a foreign rule approval, the player will be banned from all international competitions. Defaults or a replay will occur based on the deputy team decision and the score from that game. So for example, guys, make sure that you are playing for the country that you are from, ID or residency. Some countries may apply for a foreign rule, which is you're allowed 3 foreign players only for those countries that are struggling. So for example, let's say if Malta were going to enter the World Cup, they will be allowed 3 foreign players. However, 3 foreign players doesn't mean you can go sign any player from any parts of the world. Say for example, England need a 3 foreign rule. Obviously England aren't going to struggle for players, it's just an example. England can only sign 3 players from the UK. They can't go sign 3 players from Germany, etc, etc. So that is how the 3 foreign rule will work. However, teams don't automatically get this. You need to apply for it. You can apply for it via the Discord manager chats. You just need to contact me or deputy admin, and we'll discuss if you obviously qualify for that for that rule. It's only for countries that are struggling. So like Iceland, I think they wanted to take part, but obviously they only had like 6 to 8 players from that country. So obviously we can only give them 3, so they couldn't enter. So that is it, guys. Make sure you are from that country. If you get caught, you know it now. You've been informed before the competition starts. The rules are basically in your face on the competition website and on social media. So check it, guys, and make sure you are aware when applying for to play for your national team. And obviously the match calendar, I'll explain how it's going to work. All international football on VPG is on Saturdays. We'll try to make it a little bit like real life as possible, and obviously make it easier for all the national teams taking part. So during the week is midweek, which is club football, and on the weekends we try and make it all international. Saturdays is the default day. However, if nations want to play on a Sunday, you do need to let the deputy team know. Also, you do need both approval from both countries. You can't just choose to play Sunday. You both have to agree. Otherwise, it is scheduled on the Saturday. So nations that have a time difference of 4+ hours. So for example, if England are playing Japan, then obviously there isn't a default time for that match. It will be based on obviously the description I've put below. I'm going to call that out and just show you guys what the default times are. So for example, If Europeans play Americas, the default time is around 21 to 22, which is 9:10 p.m. UK time to 4 p.m. EST for the Americas countries. If Europeans play Asia, the default time is 3 p.m. UK time, and for Singapore time, it will be around 11 p.m. for Europe versus Asia. If Europeans play Africa, the default time is around 9:15 UK time, like it is in VPG Premier. And if Americas play Asia, the default time is 11 a.m. EST. So the Americans will have to wake up early for that one. And for Asia, it will be around midnight, which is around 12 a.m. Singapore time. Now for Americas, when they play Africa, the default time is around, I think it's around 9:10 p.m. For African nations, and it's around 4-5 p.m. For the Americas. And when Asia play Africa, default time is 3 p.m. UK for the African nations, and it will be around 11 p.m. Singapore time for the Asian countries. So that is basically an example how the match calendar will work. If both nations do agree on another schedule, then that is possible. You just need to let us know once the fixtures have been generated, and obviously the groups have been generated after this live draw. So that is how it's going to work, guys. If you let me know in the comments section on this live draw chat on YouTube, I will answer some of your questions if you have any, and then I'll show you how the groups and the live draw are going to work. So I'll give you a few seconds to write any questions if you have any, and I'll obviously respond to you guys. I'm not going to respond to any unbanning. If you've been unbanned, you can either email me or you can open a ticket on Discord, contact deputies, etc. But this isn't the place to discuss that. So any questions, guys? Good luck to Serbia and Russian brothers from FK Abilic. I'll read some of your comments out before we get started. If you missed it, obviously, guys, the cash prize is $2,000 distributed between the top 3 nations, first and second, and a battle for third place as well. Cash prizes for leaderboards. If you come top striker, etc., you get $50 per leaderboard. Big up Invincible Esports. I've seen quite a lot of them in the chat. So yeah, Island Esports are pretty good. I think they had a trial session yesterday, their first one. I'm not sure how it went, but I've seen some names that are pretty good in that team. Denmark, big up Larson managers in the chat. Big up all the Dutch players. Or big up everyone who's in here. Okay, guys, I'm going to move on because obviously you guys want to relax. It's a Sunday. Get this done and you'll see who you have for the World Cup starting on January the 7th, guys. That's when the start date is as well. USA, Albert from USA, welcome. Come on, there's Scotland as well. And we've got VGL Hellas, which is the Greek national team. Okay, let's go. Okay, guys, how it's going to work is I'm going to go over into the groups. But before that, I'll show you this shortly. So this is how the groups are going to work. As you can see, there are 12 groups, group A to L, and we're going to put nations into each group. But before we do that, we do have a live draw wheel. As you can see, we have World Cup Pot 1 and Pot 2 with a total of 48 nations. So if you just joined us, guys, I will show you the top 12 nations that are going into pot number 12. So that's the previous winners. 1 second, I will find it. There we go, guys. So the top 12 nations going into pot number 1. This is based on the world rankings from previous competitions. Not every single one, obviously, from 2016. But how it works is countries are ranked based on where they've come, if they come to the group, if they got knocked out in the group stages, got through to the knockout stages, how far they got, etc., etc. Obviously, this is compared from last FIFA, which is obviously PS4 and PS5. We had a bit of a split community. So obviously, the rankings aren't legit properly at the minute because obviously some nations couldn't play each other last FIFA. So these are the top 12 nations in pot number 1. So we have England, Spain, we have Germany, Hong Kong, we have France, Poland, Algeria, who are previous winners as well, Portugal, Italy, Turkey, Japan, and the USA. So they're going into pot number 1. None of those countries will play each other, so we're going to do them nations first. So guys, I'm going to draw out nations from World Cup pot number 1. So as you can see, all the nations have been put into this one. It's a virtual system, so it automatically draws out a nation from this pot. So there's 12 in here, so we're going to get started. We're going to do the pot number 1, put all the elite, well, not want to say elite teams, but the highest ranked nations into their groups first, and then you'll see who you have, etc, etc. Okay guys, so let's draw out the first nation that's going to be put into group number A. And it's Portugal. So Portugal are going into group number A. Portugal have a very strong side as well. Manager is Johnny and Luca, I think it is. Yep, Johnny and Luca. A very strong Portuguese team they have this year, so I'll do some estimations, but I do think Portugal will definitely reach the knockout stages. If they don't, then I'll be very, very surprised. But they are one of the top nations on VPG. So yeah, most definitely Portugal will be up there. So Portugal are in group number A. Now moving across into group B, guys. So go back to the wheel. Let's see who's going to be in group number B. And it's the USA. So USA have been pulled up into group number B. I don't know much information about the USA team. I know it's under new management. So I can't really talk too much about them. But they have reached many knockout stages in the past VPG World Cups. So I expect the same sort of level. A very good community. It's growing by the day, so yeah, they're not in the top ranked 12 nations for nothing, so I expect USA to be up there as well. What was that, Scott? What did you say, Scott? Okay guys, now moving across into group number C. Oh yeah, my bad. I'm used to doing 1, 2, etc. Ignore me. So Algeria are going into group number C. Group C. Yep. I'm used to saying group number 1 because that did the World Cup with AB. So yeah, ignore me. I'll say letter. Damn. Okay, you got me. Okay, Algeria are going into group C. Okay guys, so Algeria, another strong side. The team that won the World Cup, I think it was in 2020 or 19. It's a different manager. So yeah, I'm not too sure how the Algerian national team is run now, but I mean they're in the top 12 nations, so they should be good. But I can't really give too much information about them, etc. So that's Algeria into Group C. Now moving across into Group D. And we have Hong Kong. So we have Hong Kong going into Group D. All I know about Hong Kong is they are one of the best nations in Asia alongside Japan, who always win everything in their region. Obviously there's Australia as well. We've just started an Australian community and we know the Australian community are very good. So they've come over to VPG. They're not entering into this one. We tried, but obviously it's a bit last minute. But yeah, Hong Kong are definitely up there with the strongest Asian nations. So expect Hong Kong to go far in this competition. So they will be put into Group D. Now moving across into Group E, guys. and it's England. So England are in Group E. Obviously, I've got a lot to say about England. They used to have one of the strongest teams in the whole community, which was Season. Obviously, that Season team aren't around anymore, but the community is still strong. But there isn't really many, I wouldn't say elite English sides at the minute playing in Esports Premier. But there's a lot of English players that are playing in like international teams. So you see some English players playing in a Portuguese team, Italian team, etc. But the England squad as a whole is very, very strong. Like, you have some new guys coming over from the Xbox community who are now involved in the PlayStation 5 team. You have Hayfield, who's been around since basically the creation of pro clubs. So a very strong England manager and a very strong side he has put out for the English national team. So England have been put into Group E. Now moving across into Group F. Obviously, guys, this is pot number 1. So these are all the ranked nations in the VPG. So that we're just putting them in first, and then we'll get on to pot number 2. So we have Italy, another strong nation, going into Group F. So Italy, a very large community as well. So they had a lot of players to choose from for this national team. I know the manager is Will, which is his PSN is Wextik, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't have to pronounce that Italian name, but the Italian community are very strong as well. They have players from One Mind who are basically fighting for the Esports Premier. So yeah, check out Italy. They will definitely, I'd say, at least minimum reach the semi-finals. But you know, anything can happen. Knockout stage football, anything can happen. Any team, any nation can park the bus, counter. Yeah, literally anything can happen on this FIFA. So yeah, check out Italy. Very strong nation, a strong manager and strong players. So yeah. Okay, guys, moving across into Group G. And if you do have any questions, guys, leave it in the chat, and I can still respond to you while doing this live draw. So we have France is the next nation that is getting put into Group G. So we have France. Now for France, I know the manager, which is Kun, Kun, I think it is. He used to be, I think it was the manager of DFCO, which is a strong side from France, obviously. Basically, he manages the French national team, but he doesn't just choose his favourite players, etc. He has a balanced mixture from like the VPG community, Spot FA community. He brings people from different communities together, which is why he's been the France manager for quite a while. He has players from Madness, which are, I think, top of the Esports Premier at the minute, and obviously players that play in Ligue 1 in VPG France. So that's France for Group G. Now moving across into Group H. Let's see who's going to be put in Group H. Is Turkey. So Turkey are for Group H. So Turkey also have a very strong domestic side. How the Turkey community works is basically they have VPG Turkey leagues. I think 4 leagues on there. Domestic, obviously 1 to 4. They have a TEFL, which is basically Turkish Esports Football League, which is obviously partnered. I won't say partnered, but they have all the official clubs from the Turkish league partnered, like Galatasaray, Besiktas, Istanbul, etc., etc. So they have all the official clubs. Turkey's on a really good level at the minute. We have teams from Turkey paying their players. So I mean, Turkey are a very strong nation to definitely watch out for. Very strong nations in this World Cup for sure. So that is Group H for Turkey. I see some questions about Xbox. Basically, for the Xbox community and the PC, we are still in application process. Obviously, we started PlayStation 5 process before that. We have nearly completed the Xbox. and we're still working on things for the PC. I think the PC World Cup will be around 16 nations, and the Xbox, I think we're aiming for around 16 to 32. We're aiming for 32 most likely, so that is how that will be. But I think we're still waiting on a few more, but yeah, the Xbox will start on the same date as the PlayStation, which is on most likely the 7th of Jan, but we'll discuss and let you guys know when the draw will be for Xbox and PC. And there will be a ranking for Xbox as well. I'm pretty sure we've done quite a few Xbox World Cups. Not as many as PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure we have a ranking similar to PlayStation. Okay guys, moving across into Group I. The next nation will be put in Group I. Berisha, welcome to the stream. The German national team coach is in here. He's been in the VPG community a while, so obviously he's been selected to manage Germany. Welcome to the stream. So Japan have been drawn into Group I. So Japan, if you didn't know, obviously they have their own domestic league on the VPG. I think there's around 2 leagues from Japan. They have the Elgato Premier, which is partnered with the official Elgato. And they have obviously a second tier as well. But Japan, it's going from strength to strength. A lot of teams, a lot of players from that country. And obviously it just helps develop the national team from the best players from in that league. Yeah, so obviously an Academy World Cup from, don't know how to pronounce your name, Ewan, is it? Yeah, we will be doing that. Obviously we're going to be doing the official World Cup first. And then we'll start the application process for the Academy managers. Now, for the Academy World Cup, it's basically those players that never get a chance to play international football because they haven't yet reached the highest level. We're going to give them guys a chance to manage national teams, but no top players are allowed to join. It's literally players who haven't played national team football before. So you can't go sign, like, let's say for example, let's see someone from this chat. Let's say Nigel Degenkamp. I know he's probably Dutch or something, but let's just say he's the England boss. He can't go sign the top English players for the Academy World Cup like Billy Season, Shells. Literally, it's only for players that haven't been ranked or in previous competitions, etc. But yeah, that will come soon, etc. We'll do this first, obviously. Big up Bliver, Wales captain. Good to see everyone in the chat. Okay, so that is Japan in for Group I. A lot of you guys, welcome. Okay, so that was Japan. Let's see who the next nation will be into Group J, I think it is. And it's Poland. Poland have been put in Group J. Now, how the Polish national team works, it's basically one of the admins that manages this national team. To make it fair, obviously he chooses and selects all the best Polish players that play in the VPG, that play in, what's the other Polish league called? I can't remember I can't remember the name, but there is another Polish league out there. So basically they choose obviously most players from the VPG Poland, but also they choose some from the other communities as well. So it brings a bit more people together. VPG Poland, very, very strong domestic country. They have leagues on PlayStation, Xbox. So when obviously crossplay comes, there's going to be a lot of teams, and it will just basically develop the country for pro clubs going forward. So yeah, big up Poland. They have been put into Group J. Now only 2 groups left for the pot number 1. PLWK, that's it. Matteo, thank you. PLWK. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we have Group K and L left for the pot number 1. So we just saw Poland be put into that one. 2 nations left. Let's see who's going to be put in the last 2 groups. We have Germany. So Germany in Group K. Now Germany, I'll give you a little bit of information about the German community. So there we go. So Germany into Group K. So Germany are one of the biggest nations on the VPG. Bet you guys didn't know that. Obviously, I think it's like UK, Spain, Germany, or UK, Germany, Spain, something like that. But Germany are one of the biggest countries on the VPG. They have literally so many teams, so many users, and they have a lot of passion for pro clubs. I like to see it. They use Facebook, but they have a lot of passion for pro clubs. A great manager, Berisha, been around for ages. He's been, not sure if you guys are around, but been around since then. But I'll say some teams that I think he's been around. He's been around for Creative Football, which were one of the biggest names in pro clubs back in the day. He's played for, I think, OFR. I'm pretty sure you were with Tony at OFR, etc. But the German community, very passionate, very strong teams like Digital Sports, Rising Rain. A lot of teams that play in the lower leagues are rising up the rankings that are very strong as well. There's a lot of strong German teams from Xbox and PC. So when crossplay comes, literally the German community are going to benefit the most. They have like classic football from Xbox. They have, I forgot the other name now. I forgot the name. There's another team from Xbox, and there's PC teams like Cyfox, and I'm pretty sure there's a few others as well. But yeah, German community will benefit when crossplay comes. Oh, so Berisha's wrote he used to play for Season, which was obviously Season was one of the, basically a Hall of Fame team that everyone knows about. They were from UK. They literally won everything. Had like Shells, who plays for Man City, etc. Digital Sports, current team, and Venice. That was it, Venice. Cool. And Creative Football. Okay, guys, once I have done, obviously, the pot 1, I'll start speeding things up for you guys. Okay, so Group L, which is the last one. And obviously, one nation left in the draw. So let's see who it will be. So one nation left in pot number 1. Which is Spain. So Spain are going in Group L. And I'll give you guys a little bit of information about Spain, and then I'll stop waffling on and get this draw done for you guys. So Spain, another very large community, one of the biggest in VPG, I think top 3 in terms of size. They've only been in VPG for around a year. I mean, we used to have it back in the day, but it wasn't as big. But we got a new admin for Spain, which is Leo. Fantastic person. He has, if I had to choose one person to have who has the most amount of passion for pro clubs and in terms of work ethic, it's Leo. He works very hard for the Spanish community. They have so many teams. He deals with a lot. He's put on events in Spain most recently, and a couple months ago. Just watch out for VPG Spain. They've got a lot of great work coming up. So yeah, big community. Some fantastic players. We have Bazan, who's the manager. I think he plays for Esports Evad. They have Joselinho, which if you go onto the VPG website, you'll probably see him as the person straight away skilling past 5 players. They have, I can literally name so many players. So yeah, Spain, probably one of the favourites to win. So yeah, they are the last nation from pot number 1 in Group L. Dutch community, you know I love the Dutch community. A fantastic manager, probably one of the best admins. Sorry, not manager. Works hard for the Dutch community, and yeah, it just keeps growing and growing for the Dutch. Okay, guys, so that is the draw done for pot number 1. So all the nations that finished in pot 1, they were 12. So now we have 36 nations left. So let's start off the draw for the World Cup pots number 2. And we have an ad, so let me just change that. Do apologise for the ad. Crazy. Okay, spin. Okay, here we go. So there's all the 36 nations in pot number 2. VPG India, welcome to the stream, guys. Fantastic community from India. Fantastic players. Oh, we have Francho. He's my ex-player. Played for QPR. Francho, welcome to the stream. Okay, guys, so here we go. I'm going to start off with the groups. If you've missed it, here are the 12 nations that were top of the rankings, who obviously will not play each other. So we did them first, and now we're going to get onto the pot number 2 nations. So we're going to start off, we're going to go from A to L, obviously in order, and we'll put each nation into each group. So starting off with Group A, this next nation will be put in the same group as Portugal. So this nation's going into Group A alongside Portugal. Let's see who it's going to be. And it's Denmark. Whew, that's strong already. Denmark, another fantastic country for the VPG. Fantastic. Denmark going into Group A. Denmark, second team for group number A. Fantastic community. Remember back in the day, I used to play with a few Danish players. Used to be Shah. What was his other guy's name now? I forget everything, guys. Oh, there used to be so many, but obviously a lot of Danish players have given up. But the manager Larsen, he used to be at Rotherham. A fantastic side. Watch out for the Danes. You can't underestimate them. Fantastic goalkeeper. Great outfield, great defence. So yeah, big up the Danish in the same group as Portugal. That's strong so far. Let's move across into Group B, guys. So Group B, let's take a look who will join alongside the USA for Group B. Mikael Peterson, welcome. A lot of Danes in here. Welcome to the stream, guys. We have Romania. So Romania will join USA in Group B. Romania, another fantastic nation for VPG. They have their own domestic leagues for PlayStation and Xbox. When crossplay comes, you'll see Romania go from strength to strength, most definitely. Some fantastic teams as well. For example, Romania, they have Zeal, who are competing in the Esports Premier. I'm trying to think of the other one now. I think there's like top 2 teams that play at the highest level. But yeah, Romania, fantastic nation for the VPG. Fantastic admin, which is Christy. Been around in VPG since the creation. So Romania does keep growing as a country for pro clubs. Denmark could lift the trophy. Denmark, I mean, they've got far in the past. Denmark have a great user base, and yeah, I mean, I can go on about Denmark as well. So yeah, Romania into Group B, joining USA. So the next nation is going to join alongside one of the ex-champions. I think it was 2020, Algeria. Let's see who will join them in Group C. So joining Algeria for Group C, we have Iraq. I'll give you a little bit of information about the Iraq community. So they are Group C, joining Algeria. Iraq, it's not the biggest community, but they are very passionate. They've been around obviously since the creation of VPG as well. I think there's not a lot of teams, maybe like between 12 and 18 teams for the Iraq League, but literally they put everything on the line when they're out there on the pitch. They are very good. They're organised. Don't underestimate them. They are fantastic side. So big up Iraq in this competition. Joined Algeria in Group C. Now moving across into Group D, joining alongside one of the strongest nations in Asia, Hong Kong. Let's take a look who will join them for Group D. Guys, if you're still in the chat, let us know which nations are the favourite to win the World Cup. Let us know in the chat section who you think will win the VPG World Cup. So we have Slovenia. Slovenia have been put into Group D alongside Hong Kong. So Slovenia into Group D. Against Hong Kong. That's a tough one. Slovenia, another strong nation. The Balkan, a lot of their players play in the Balkan League, which is basically obviously the Balkan nations like Macedonia, Croatia, Slovenia, etc., etc. It grows those countries that don't have their own domestic league yet, so it puts them all together, and it obviously builds a great user base. The managers great guy as well, Mohamed Mervan. So yeah, big up Slovenia for Group D. Now moving across into Group E, I think not many nations want to play England, especially in the opening group stages of the tournament. So the next nation will be playing against England. So England have won the World Cup, I think it's 5 times, 4 or 5 times. One of the only nations to do that. And obviously it's only been England and Algeria to win previous international competitions. So England are obviously one of the other favourites to win the competition. But let's see, hopefully someone this year may stop England and we may have a new country becoming the champions. So yeah, let's take a look to see who will join England in Group E. We have Finland. That's a tough one. Very, very tough. Great nation as well. We have Finland for Group E. I think Hayfield, obviously, he knows, he doesn't obviously worry about any opponents. But Finland, I mean, that's probably one of the nations he probably didn't want in his group. Finland are a very, very strong nation. They just missed out on, obviously, being in the top 12. A fantastic manager, Mr. Salkau. Great centre-back players at the highest level of pro clubs. And many other Finland players that also play at the highest level. Can't remember the striker's name. I'll try to remember. I'm forgetting all the players now. But yeah, they have some fantastic forwards as well. So Finland, don't underestimate them. They could even beat England, you never know. But yeah, Finland in Group E for the VPG World Cup. Now moving across into Group F to join Italy. Now Italy, I do feel sorry for them. They could have been champions, but they lost on the penalty shootout last FIFA. It was a penalty shootout between England and Italy. And obviously, England won. So big credit to Italy still. Fantastic side. They are still obviously one of the favourites as well to win. So they'll be joined alongside Belgium. So Belgium will join Italy in Group F. So Group F, we have Belgium. So Belgium, it's quite a big community to be fair, but they have their own domestic league. Most of the players seem to be the French-speaking Belgium community. There's not really many Dutch Belgium, if you know what I mean. Obviously Belgium has some French-speaking, they have Dutch, etc. as well. So it's a mix to be fair. The Belgian community, I don't really know much information about them. I know the manager, obviously ex-Stormy, he's been around for quite a while. I'm pretty sure he will build quite a strong squad. I don't really know too much about Belgium, but then again, you can't underestimate any nation at this World Cup. So yeah, good luck to Belgium. A very strong group, definitely so far. They have Italy in Group F. Now joining alongside France in Group G. Let's take a look to see who will be put in Group G with France. We have China. So China have been put into Group G. France. To be fair, I don't really know much information about the Chinese community because obviously I don't really speak to them well. Obviously I speak to China through my Japanese admin. The China community are quite hidden from the rest of us. Like they can't use our social medias and stuff like that. They have to use VPN for Discord and VPN for the VPG website, etc. I think China operate on their own platform, so we've invited them to this. But yeah, I don't really know much information on how good they are. So yeah, China put into Group G. Wish them luck. I know they aren't a bad nation. They are a very strong nation for pro clubs. But I don't know, obviously, this year with this new FIFA. But yeah, good luck to China for Group G. Now for Group H. Moving across into Group H, playing against Turkey. So Turkey will have Switzerland. So Switzerland have been put in Group H, so Group H with Turkey. So that's Switzerland. Same again, I don't really know too much information about the Swiss community. So yeah, I can't really talk too much about that, but I know they do have their own league, a lot of French speaking as well for the Swiss community. Let's see how they do. And they've been drawn out against Turkey. Now moving across into Group I to play against Japan. Japan, another one of the strongest nations in Asia. I think they've won quite a lot of competitions in the Asia community. Fantastic domestic system they have running. So yeah, another favourite to win, especially for the Asia countries. So let's take a look to see who's going to be against Japan in Group I. So Group I against Japan. We have Venezuela. So Venezuela are in Japan's group for Group I. So Venezuela, I'm not really sure about the community. I know they have a league. I think maybe 2 leagues, first and second. Don't really know much information about how strong their teams are. But don't underestimate any nation. Group I, if any Venezuelans are in this chat, welcome to the stream, welcome to the VPG World Cup, and obviously I wish all your teams in domestic and at this World Cup the best of luck. Don't know too much information about them, but yeah, welcome. And they've been put into Group I against Japan. Now moving across into Group J, who will be taking on Poland. Let's take a look to see who will be taking Poland on in Group J. Is Croatia. So Croatia have been put in the same group as Poland. You can probably hear my mouse. Who got pulled out? My mind's gone blank. 1 second, guys. Ah, Croatia. Cool. So Group J, joining Poland is Croatia. Same like Slovenia. Croatia are a community that play in the Balkan League. Big up Croatia. They come up against Poland in Group J. Kiko SR4 Croatian. Best of luck. Now moving across into Group K, who were playing against Germany, who reached the final in the last World Cup competition. Manager Berisha. Let's take a look to see who Germany will have as their first opponent in Group K. Let's take a look to see who the first nation in this group alongside Germany. We have Mexico. We have Mexico joining Group K. Team number 2. We have Mexico. So welcome Mexico. Obviously I think it's their second or third time entering into internationals for the VPG. A lot of Mexican teams do play in the VPGA, which is the Americas side, similar to like VPG Europe, but teams from like Mexico, El Salvador, USA, etc., all in one competition together. It's quite good how they've got it. Mexico, I'm pretty sure they have their own domestic league as well, so they can keep growing as a country. So yeah, Mexico, Group K against Germany. A lot of Mexicans in here. So we have Juan Galvan, Sergio Garcia, and Bernd is obviously put rest in peace. Crazy. Okay, now for the last group, Group L, going across against Spain. I won't want to. If I was a manager of a country, I will definitely not want Spain in my group. So the countries that haven't been pulled out of the virtual pot yet, hopefully you do not have Spain. But one of you will, so let's take a look. So playing against Spain in Group L. Let's take a look to see who it's going to be. It's Canada. We have Canada in Group L for Spain. Now for Canada, they don't have their own domestic league. They don't have their... I know they have quite a few teams from that country, but they're not established domestically yet. Hopefully in the future we might build a Canadian league, obviously to grow it. But right now there's only like a few teams, not as many players, and obviously they've built a team together to form Canada for this World Cup. Obviously the teams and players that take part play in the VPGA, similar to Mexico, but obviously I think Mexico do have their own league, Canada don't. So don't really know too much information about Canada in previous competitions. It's a new management team for this competition, so best of luck to Canada in Group L against Spain. Okay guys, now moving across, we're going back to Group A. Join alongside Portugal and Denmark. Group A, let's take a look who will join them. Scotland should be pulled out soon. They're in this pot. Let's take a look. We have Hungary in Group A. Oh, you didn't come out. Oh, sorry guys. I didn't change the screen. But yeah, it was Hungary for Group A. So Group A, we have Hungary. Hungarian community, very passionate as well. I've known that admin since obviously the creation of VPG. It's Gabor. Don't know how to pronounce his second name. It's tough. But yeah, Gabor, very passionate. I like their system as well. The system in the Hungarian league is different to what we're used to. So for example, like in VPG Europe or VPG England, we play like 3-4 seasons every FIFA. In Hungary, they play one. So I think they have like one game every weekend or 2 games, something like that. And it's gone from one at the start of FIFA to the end of FIFA. And I think they're partnered with the official Hungarian league as well. But that's the system that they have used for quite a while. So yeah, Hungarian league. I know they're very good as well. Don't underestimate them. We don't really know too many Hungarian players because you don't really see many Hungarian teams playing in the Europe system, because they try to stick together and develop that way. So yeah, Hungary in Group A. Now moving across into Group B. So Group B joining USA and Romania. Let's take a look to see who'll be put in Group B, sorry. Is it Libya? I'll give you a little bit of information about Libya shortly, but they've been put into Group B alongside USA and Romania. A lot of people may not know how big the Libyan community is and the reach that they have done over the years, but Libya literally have taken pro clubs to another level. They've had events in their country. They are partnered with the LESY, I think it is, which is the Libyan Esports Federation. If you just take a look at their Facebook, like you'll see the numbers they get when I think they've streamed previous international competitions for VPG, and they've literally had like 1,000 to 1,000 people watching. A fantastic community. They're very strong, so watch out for Libya. Definitely not the underdogs. Definitely also a good favourite to go very far in this competition. So Libya, Group B, alongside USA and Romania. Guys, please be respectful in the comment section. Thank you. Now let's move across into Group C, joining Algeria and Iraq. Let's take a look for this next one. We have India. And they're in Group C, joining Algeria and Iraq. We have India. Give a little bit of information about India. India pro clubs, they have their own community. So they have their own domestic league. That's on the VPG as well. I think it's that one of the admins that runs the national team chooses players the right way between the clubs. So yeah, India, watch out for them. Strong nation, go far in the Asian competitions. So yeah, India joined alongside Iraq and Algeria for Group C. Now moving across into Group D, joining Hong Kong and Slovenia. Moving across into Group D. Let's take a look to see who will join them. VBG India, welcome. I've seen you put the flag on. Welcome to the stream, VBG India. We have Czech Republic. So Czech Republic have been drawn into Group D. So the Czech, they've been around the VPG for a while. They've got a great setup, great bunch of admins. Quite a lot of teams from Czech as well. They've got an Xbox community, a PlayStation community. So when that comes to crossplay, literally Czech community is going to grow massive. Very strong nation. They do get to the knockout stages quite a lot. So yeah, big up the Czech into Group D alongside Slovenia and Hong Kong. We have a bit of rivalry in the chat already. We have Usama saying see you later to India. I think Usama is a manager or one of the admins players for Algeria. And obviously India's been put into their group. But yeah, don't mind a little bit of banter between the nations who are in the same groups. So that is it. Czech have just been pulled out into Group D. Let's take a look to see who we put in one of the strongest groups so far. My opinion is Group E, which is England and Finland. So the next nation will be put into England's group and Finland. Morocco haven't been pulled out yet. Let's take a look now. We have Russia. So Russia will be put in Group E alongside England and Finland. Russia, another very strong side. I'll tell you about them shortly. Obviously, guys, there's no politics or anything in VPG. I know, obviously, World Cup and stuff around the world have been removing Russia, etc., etc. I know a lot of players from the Russian community. They're just, obviously, they're not involved with anything. They don't care like I do or you guys do about the politics or war. They have love and passion for pro clubs only. They don't care about that. So there's no politics or war involved in VPG. Russia are allowed in any competition. So yeah, Russian community is really good as well. We have, I think it's around 12 to 16 teams in the Russian league. I think there's 2 leagues from Russia. And yeah, I think they'll go very far. That's the group of death at the minute. England, Finland, Russia, strong nations. Like they have a team called VFC Krasnodar, very strong, been around since probably one of the creation of pro clubs. So yeah, a very, very strong nation for pro clubs. That's very difficult, that one. Okay, guys, next nation going into Group F, joining Italy and Belgium. So next nation joining Italy and Belgium. We have Sweden. We have Sweden joining Italy and Belgium for Group F. A little bit of information about Sweden. We are setting up a domestic league for that country. There isn't enough teams. There's not loads. I think there's around 10 to 14 teams from Sweden. Setting up their own system. And obviously the captains are being chosen with players from that community. So it's still underway. It's still managing to get their own domestic league, which is good signs, as Sweden in the past haven't really had many players taking part. So yeah, big step up in pro clubs for the country, for Sweden. Let's see how they do. Don't really know much information about them. But yeah, a very strong group they have been drawn into for their first World Cup against Italy and Belgium. Pontus Gustafsson, he is the bot developer. No way, he's Swedish as well. Didn't even know. But yeah, big up to the Swedes that are in the chat. So yeah. Sorry, I don't really know much information about the Swede players, but I'm pretty sure they will still do well. Okay, guys, moving across into Group G, who will join in France and China. Let's take a look to see who will be joining them. We have Holland. A lot of the Dutch guys, they've been waiting for it. I know they've been patiently waiting. I can see a lot of them speaking. So Holland have been drawn into Group G alongside France and China. So that is a strong group at the minute. Yes, Morocco are in the World Cup. So for Group G, very strong. France, China and Holland. I'll do my estimations. Obviously, once all the draws been done, I'll do an estimation who I think is going to go through. Obviously, it's not just the top 2 nations, because there's 48. The best 8 ranked third positions will go through as well. So there's still a chance for every nation to qualify early. So yeah, that's Group G, France, China and Holland. The next nation will be drawn into Group H alongside Turkey and Switzerland. So joining Group H. To be fair, the Dutch community are very, very passionate, very good players. Nelly Machiavelli. Who else do they have now? My mind's blank, but the Dutch community do have a lot of players. I know Nelly's been around for a while. Trying to think of the others, but yeah, Holland are another favourite to go far in this competition. So that's Egypt. Have been pulled out into the next one, guys. So Egypt are in Group H alongside Turkey and Swiss. So that's Egypt. Now I know the Egypt manager is Mahmoud, I think it is. Mahmoud Yunus. He is the admin of the Egyptian Domestic League. They start on VPG after Christmas, after New Year's. Not a massive community, but I think there's around 14 to 16 teams. Very passionate. I'm pretty sure they'll do well. They haven't reached any quarterfinals or finals, I don't think, but they are still a very strong side. I'm not going to underestimate them. But yeah, Egypt into Group H alongside Swiss and Turkey. Pilsey. Now moving across into Group I. So Group I will be joined alongside Japan and Venezuela. Let's take a look to see who we have for Group I. We have Tunisia. So Tunisia in Group I. One second, guys. Group I. Okay, this one. Tunisia. I think I did it right. Just make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Anything can happen. I do apologise. Let me just take a look. I think I am right now, aren't I? Cool, yeah. Joining alongside Japan and Venezuela is Tunisia. So Tunisia in Group I. Yeah, that's actually right, Shane. Literally, it's all virtual, but yeah, Wales do seem to come out at the end all the time. Hopefully, it'll be drawn soon for you. But yeah, in the past, yeah, Wales definitely have. So yeah, guys, we have Tunisia with Japan and Venezuela. So the next group will be joined alongside Poland and Croatia for Group J. Now for the Tunisian community, they have their own domestic league. Don't really know much information on how strong they are, but yeah, I'm sure they'll do well at this World Cup. We have Morocco. Okay guys, Morocco have been drawn and they go into Group J alongside Poland and Croatia. So Poland, Croatia and Morocco. So Morocco, a very, very strong nation on the VPG. Just like in real life World Cup at the minute, doing very good into the semi-finals. Morocco, they have most of their players from X Project, which is a team in the Esports Premier. I think it's X Samos. They have, who else do they have in there now? Raven, which is a developer for myself as well, for VPG. But yeah, Morocco, fantastic nation. I'm not sure if they have their own domestic league. Maybe they do. But yeah, a very strong nation with very talented players into Group J alongside Poland and Croatia. Now moving across into Group K. So Group K joining alongside Germany and Mexico for Group K. Let's take a look to see who's next. We have Serbia. So Serbia in Group K with Germany, and Mexico. So Serbia, a fantastic nation. They've been in every single VPG World Cup and internationals currently. They play in the Balkan League. They don't have their own domestic league, but there's a lot of top Serbian players in the community who obviously play in VPG Europe and they play in the Balkan. So big up to the Serbian community in Group K. Now moving across into Group L, joining Spain and Canada for Group L. Very hard group. Leo, welcome to the stream. Didn't see your name, but yeah, welcome Leo. Very talented person. In pro clubs, works just as hard as me, so yeah, I respect Leo very much. But yeah, very tough group for Spain so far. As you can see, just been pulled out of the hat, the virtual ball, sorry, is Scotland. Scotland, another tough team from the United Kingdom, going into Group L as the nation number 3. Now Scotland have some fantastic players. I think the manager is Scott Rennie. I'm pretty sure the UK players, if you're in this chat, you know who Scott Rennie is. Fraser Cov. Trying to think of the yours, but yeah, Scotland aren't a country to mess with. I won't say they're underdogs, but they have some very, very, very talented players, just like England. And most of these players that do take part play in cash cups, and obviously they win quite a lot as well. So it depends if they can merge that together as a whole. But yeah, Scotland very good into Group L alongside Spain and Canada. Okay guys, 12 nations left. We have 3 nations per group at the minute. So if you're one of those nations that haven't been drawn out yet, just hold on. 5 more minutes and your nation and the whole draw will be completed. So yeah, 12 nations left. Let's get on. The next nation will be put into Group A. So they will be joined Portugal, Denmark and Hungary. Very strong group at the minute, that one is. So yeah, let's take a look. Joining Group A. But did I... Yeah, joining, let's just take a look. Yeah, Scotland, okay. Joining Group A is... So we'll see the final group for A is El Salvador. So El Salvador for Group A, nation number 4. El Salvador. Now you can't underestimate them. They don't have their own domestic league, but most of the El Salvadorian players, they play at the highest level in the American community. So don't underestimate them at all. You've probably not seen them in a World Cup for quite a while, because obviously with the console split, but yeah, they are fantastic players. So a very, very strong group there. Obviously it's going to be tough on the away leg for the European countries, but that is it. That's how fair it is. You play home and away, and obviously it will go in goal difference at the end of the group stages. So El Salvador, very strong group at the minute for Portugal, Denmark, Hungary. So yeah, that is Group A completed. Now the next nation will be pulled into Group B alongside USA, Romania and Libya. Algeria manager, oh, I knew his name. I'll get it to you shortly. Remind me. So the next nation being pulled into Group B is Norway. So Norway in Group B. Pretty sure you guys know about Norway. I don't really need to say much about them, but what a community they have. They don't have their own Norwegian league, but they have something similar to the Balkan, which is it's called the Arctic. I think it might be called something else now, but it's like teams from like Norway, Denmark, maybe Finland. I'm not sure if there's any, maybe Swedish teams like that, all in the competition together. So yeah, Norway, fantastic players. I think most of the players are probably from the Norwegian team NWA Esports, something like that. I think it is. I think it's that, something like that. Or Unique Norway. It might be Unique Norway. So yeah, fantastic side. Norwegian community. I've been put into Group B alongside USA, Romania and Libya. Now moving across into Group C. Let's take a look to see who we put into this group, joining alongside one of the ex-champions, Algeria. Is Trinidad. So Trinidad and Tobago. I've been put into Group C. So Trinidad and Tobago, they don't have their own, actually they do have their own domestic league. Trinidad and Tobago do have their own domestic league, so they're growing as a country, as they've got enough teams to run domestically. Quite solid as a country as well. Their setup is great, so yeah, don't underestimate Trinidad. We haven't seen them obviously in the last FIFA due to obviously the console split, so let's take a look. You never know. I don't know too much about how good they are as a nation for national team, but I'm pretty sure they'll do well. So Group C, Algeria, Iraq, India and Trinidad and Tobago. Now moving across into Group D, joining Hong Kong, Slovenia and Czech Republic. And we have Ukraine. So Ukraine have been put into Group D. Let's take a look. Ukraine. So there we go. That is Group D completed. We have Hong Kong, Slovenia, Czech Republic and Ukraine. Ukraine are a very strong bunch of players. They don't have their own domestic league, but they have played in the Russian league. A lot of them still do. They don't bring war politics into pro clubs. A lot of them still play with each other. But yeah, Ukraine into Group D, a very strong bunch of players. Let's see how they got on in this competition. Next nation will be put into Group E, which is currently the group of death at the minute, which is England, Finland, Russia. Let's take a look to see who will join them for Group E. A lot of people did say Wales, so hopefully Shane, it's not. Hopefully Shane, it's not you. But let's take a look. Putting into the Group E, I think it is Slovakia. Excuse me. So Slovakia, I've been put in Group E. So Slovakia, I know they've been training a lot for this World Cup. They've been preparing more than other nations. I've seen the manager. He's he's been practicing a lot with his players, playing a lot of times per week in tournaments. So I'm pretty sure they will do very well. So for Slovakia, they have their own domestic system. They play in the Czech league, and I'm pretty sure some of them play in the Balkan league. But yeah, they have quite a few leagues to play in as well, and they play in the Europe system. So Slovakia, very tough group for them. Very, very tough group. I know they'll do well, but maybe only 2 or 3 will go through, so it's going to be tough to predict who's going to go out of that one. But probably one of the strongest groups so far. England, Finland, Russia, Slovakia for Group E. Now moving across to Group F. The next nation will be going in Group F. Let's take a look. We have Austria. We have Austria in Group F. I'll give you a little bit of information about that Austrian team and a little bit about their history. So Austria in Group F, joining Italy, Belgium, Sweden, and Austria. That's a very strong group as well. So for Austria, they don't have their own domestic league, but a lot of the Austrian players and teams do play in the German league because they speak the same language. Austria, very talented players. If you remember FK Austria, which is an official club from obviously that country, they won the Champions League I think a few FIFAs ago. They were headlined in Sky Sports Austria about the VPG Champions League. So don't just underestimate them. I think their manager is a Nico, so he's very, very talented himself. He'll bring in a lot of strong players, so Austria will definitely go far. So that's a tough one when I predict that very shortly. So Austria into Group F. Now let's move across into Group G. Group G, the next nation will be put into. Not many nations left now. The draw is mostly completed. And we have Ireland. We have Ireland being put into Group G. I'll give you a little bit of information about Ireland. It's under new management as well for this World Cup. So Ireland has got experienced players like Ross Kane, a new manager, but he's bringing all the top Irish players together for this one. But it's still very tough. Group G, France, China, Holland and Ireland. It's tough for China, to be fair, because obviously they're the only Asia country from that group. I mean, if it was two from Asia, then maybe it might have been a little bit better for them. But I think they might struggle, especially on the European host. On their host, they'll probably be fine. But they have to play a lot of games on the away leg, considering to their home. So, China in Group G with France, Holland and Ireland. Going to be tough, that one. I'll do my predictions after these next 5 nations that have been pulled out. So the next one will be going into Group H. Group H as the 4th nation. Group H. Let's take a look. To be fair, it probably will be 500 ping. You just need to... Nations that do have opponents from, like, let's say, for example, Wales play against China or Japan or Venezuela. You just need to be prepared for those away legs. You can't be going out full press. You need to basically relax because it's going to be tough. It's going to be very hard to win a game on 500 ping or whatever the ping's going to be. You just need to play smart, play tactical, and hopefully you can get a point out of that. Okay, so the next nation that's been pulled out is Greece. So Greece are in Group H. So welcome Greece to the World Cup. I'll give you a little bit of information about the Greek community. So Greece have been put into Group H. Greece basically work with VGL, which is Virtual Gaming League, something like that. The admin of that league has come onto VPG now, so they run their domestic leagues from the VPG platform. We support them. Last FIFA, obviously they had a bit of a struggle with the cross-platform with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So they've managed to open a domestic league on FIFA 23. Not as many teams, but still... they're growing from strength to strength at the minute. They used to have quite a lot of Cyprus teams in there, but Cyprus have their own domestic league now as well. And hopefully I think they're still on PS4, so hopefully we'll see some Cyprus teams in the future. So at the moment we have Greece, a fantastic manager, run by a fantastic domestic league country, and I'm sure they'll do well, which is for Group H. Okay guys, 4 nations left. Now let's take a look. Oh, was it a derby? Didn't know. Cool. Now, so we have I, J, K, and L. Let's take a look to see who will be joining Group I. So Group I. we have Belarus. So Belarus are in Group I as the 4th national team. Now Belarus, I do know the manager. I think his name is STRB, something like that. I think Belarus, they play in the Russian league. They also play in VPG Europe. They don't have their own domestic system, but still a nation not to be messed with. So Belarus in Group I alongside Japan, Venezuela, Tunisia, and obviously Belarus. Christy, fantastic. Welcome, Christy. I did give you a shout out before. Christy is the admin and owner of the Romanian Virtual Football League, run on the VPG, a fantastic, passionate community from Romania. He's been running it since 2016-17, something like that, since the creation of VPG. He does everything, works very hard for the growth of the Romanian community. So big up for Christy. I'm sure Romania will do well in the Group B that they are in. So that's Belarus into Group I. 3 nations left. Let's take a look. So we have Group J. Let's take a look who the next nation is. So the next nation is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia in Group J. So the 4th national team for this one is Saudi Arabia. A little bit of information about this country. They have their own domestic league system on the VPG. Very, very strong sides. They've taken part in many European and I think it's, what's it called now? They don't play in the Asian community. It's the Arab World Cup they take part in as well. So Saudi Arabia, a fantastic nation. It's good to have them involved. But they weren't involved in the last one because obviously with the cross-platform issues. So Saudi Arabia, very strong side. That is a very strong group as well, Group J. So Poland, Croatia, Morocco, Saudi Arabia. 2 groups left, 2 nations left. Let's take a look to see who they'll be. So Group K. Let's move across into that one. So only 2 virtual balls left and 2 nations left. Is Bosnia. So Bosnia are in Group K. Bosnia in Group K alongside Germany, Mexico, Serbia. Bosnia, another community that take part in the VPG Europe system and in the Balkan League. A very strong, passionate group of players. I'm sure they'll do well at this World Cup. Very strong group. I'll do my predictions shortly. And then for the last nation, it's just crazy because you just saw all the Welsh players saying, yeah, we're always last to get picked. I don't know what it is, but it does seem to be that way. So yeah, let's take a look at the last wheel. The last nation to be put into the last group. We have Mr. Scott Whitehouse in the building, which is Wales. So Wales are in Group L as the 4th and the last nation to be drawn in this competition. Wales, another fantastic bunch of players that play in VPG England, they play in VPG Europe, and obviously they've been a part in every single VPG international competition under new management. Shane Blythe, I think it is. A very well-known player in the UK community and the Welsh community. I'm sure he would do well. But that is a very strong group for Spain, Canada, Scotland and Wales. Okay guys, before I go through and sharing this, obviously the full list of nations and my predictions, I'll show you how the system works and the structure, and when the competition starts, etc, etc. So the structure, obviously, group stage and knockout stage. All tournaments are played on the VPG platform. Domestic league admin team will choose the representatives to manage their nations. All national team managers have been chosen already. They've either been chosen by their admins of their domestic leagues or by the application process. The cash prize is $2,000, distributed towards the top 3 nations. First wins $1,200, second wins $300, and third $200. Also, if you want those individual awards, you can still get a chance to win $50 per leaderboard for coming top striker, winger, cam, CDM, centre-back and goalkeeper. So after your games, every player has to submit their stats for this competition, and that is the structure for this one. For squad rosters, I'm just going to repeat this one last time, and then I will do the final showdown, and then we are good to go. So for the squad rosters, maximum number of players per nation is 25. After the group stages, you're allowed to remove 5 players and add an extra 5 players only from that nation. You can only play players that are born or from that country, have residency or have ID or passport from that country only. If a player plays for a national team that isn't from that country, hasn't had the foreign rule approval, and then obviously issues and decisions will occur from the deputy team. So that is the squad rosters. Now, let's move across into the final groups. So guys, we have Group A. We have Portugal, Denmark, Hungary and El Salvador. So I'm going to do a quick prediction on who I think will qualify. I'm only going to choose the top 2, but obviously in some groups, 8 third positions will qualify. So I'm just going to choose the top 2 just for my predictions for now, and then obviously I'm not going to choose the best 8th. It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the top 2 nations from each group that I think will qualify. So Group A, we have Portugal, Denmark, Hungary and El Salvador. I would say the top 2 nations going through will probably be Portugal, and I'm probably going to go with Hungary. But don't underestimate Denmark and El Salvador. Probably strong nations. It's just my estimation. My prediction for this. So Portugal and Hungary, I'd say for Group A. For Group B, we have USA, Romania, Libya and Norway. I would probably go with, I'd probably say, see, I'm not really sure how strong the US team is on PlayStation 5 at the minute. So I can't really predict them because I don't know how strong they are. So I'd probably go with Romania and Norway for Group B. For Group C, we have Algeria, Iraq, India and Trinidad. For this one, I'll probably go with Algeria and to be fair, I probably would go with India. I've been told that the Indian community are quite strong this FIFA. I know the Trinidad have their own domestic league, so do Iraq, but I don't really know their strength because they haven't been in the last World Cup due to obviously the issue with the cross PS4 and PS5. So yeah, I'll probably go with Algeria and India. Now for Group D, we have Hong Kong, Slovenia, Czech Republic and Ukraine. Now for this one, it's tough, as I don't really know too much information about Ukraine. I know they play in the Russian league, but I will probably go with Hong Kong topping that group because I know how strong the Hong Kong side are, especially in previous competitions. And I'll probably say it will be, I'd probably go with the Czech. With the Czech, it'll be tough. I know Slovenia are strong, Ukraine are strong, but I'll probably just say Czech will probably get it. We'll get it. So Hong Kong and Czech for Group D. Group E, we have England, Finland, Russia and Slovakia. Now for this group, my prediction would be England and Finland, or England and Russia. I don't really know too much. I know Slovakia are a not new nation, but a new management. They're preparing well, and they could be the underdogs in this one. But obviously, I know how strong England, Finland and Russia are, so I'll probably go with England and Finland for Group E. Now Group F, we have Italy, Belgium, Sweden and Austria. For this one, I'll probably say Italy and Austria. Yeah, Italy and Austria. For Group G, we have France, China, Holland and Ireland. My prediction would be, to be fair, I need to see everyone's squad lists as well, because obviously I'm just judging on previous and the players that I know from obviously each community. But for this one, I'd probably say France and Holland. But then again, I know China are strong, I know Ireland are strong, anything can happen, but my prediction, France and Holland. Group H, we have Turkey, Switzerland, Egypt and Greece. I will predict Turkey to top the group, and coming second, I will probably go with Egypt. Yeah, I'll probably go with Egypt. Now for Group I, we have Japan, Venezuela, Tunisia and Belarus. To top the group, I'd probably say Japan. And to come second, I'd probably say it's between Venezuela and Tunisia. I'd probably say that's quite tough. I'll probably go with Venezuela for coming in runners-up in Group I. Don't really know much information about Belarus. They could surprise me. But my prediction, yeah, is Japan and Venezuela. For Group J, we have Poland, Croatia, Morocco and Saudi Arabia. My prediction for this one, I'd probably say Morocco will top the group because I know a lot of the players from the Esports Premier. And coming in second, it was tough. All four of them are very strong. Yeah, I'll just go with a prediction, but I'll just think quickly. It's Morocco, and coming in second, I'll probably say Poland. Something like that. Yeah, I'll go with that. For Group K, we have Germany, Mexico, Serbia, and Bosnia. My prediction for this group is Germany topping the group and coming in that runners-up position. To be fair, I'm not going to underestimate Mexico. I know they've got a very strong side, so I'm probably going to go with Mexico. Even though I know how strong Serbia and Bosnia are, especially in the Balkan League. I know they're very, very strong, but I'm going to go with Mexico because I know I've seen their domestic league. I've seen some of the players that play at the highest level in the American community. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Mexico for that one. So, Germany and Mexico. Now, for Group L, which is another very strong group, Spain, Canada, Scotland and Wales. Don't really know too much about Canada. It's under new management. But I'm going to go with Spain topping the group and coming in second. I need to have a look at the squad rosters from Scotland and Wales. I know that Blythe is building something great for Wales. And I know Scotland are building something great with Fraser Cove, Scott Rennie, who's the manager. So, yeah, it's going to be probably between Scotland and Wales. But obviously, guys, don't forget, the top two nations automatically qualify. And there are 8 third-positioned nations going through to the knockout stages as well. So there's 32 nations out of the 48 that qualify into the knockout stages. Each nation will play each team home and away in the group stages, and that is how it will work. So from VPG, the competition will start on the 7th of January. The group stages will be on the VPG platform in the next couple of days, with the match calendar being generated to play each nation twice. All managers need to make sure that you do sign your players, and all players are verified on the VPG platform with PSN Gamertag. Make sure they're all signed and ready to go. Squad rosters to be submitted on social media as well. But that is it, guys. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back not next weekend, on the 7th of Jan for the VPG World Cup. We have 6 broadcasters from different nations. We have an English caster, which is George. We have Italy, someone from Portugal who's casting, someone from Spain, which is Leo and his team. We tried to get Germany, but there's not many casters in Germany. We have someone from France. But guys, if there are any other casters that are from your countries, I know there was some from Libya, I know there was some from Turkey. If there are other casters that do want to showcase your country at the World Cup, do get in touch with me on Twitter, official VPG or Delosa VPG. If you contact me, the more casters the better. Obviously we pay casters, so casters will be earning per game. So if you are a great caster, you've got history, showcase us your previous experience, and we will add you into the VPG World Cup. We're going to create something special, something unique to bring players from all parts of the world together for this special occasion for the VPG World Cup. So that is it, guys. Thank you all for watching, and have a great Christmas if I don't speak to you before obviously the World Cup starts. So take care and have a lovely rest of your weekend. Goodbye.
Shit, I meant to kill this one, bruh.